no pain, no gain. You know, it's zero to hero once again with another video. Tired. You know, I should have figured, but it's really hard being on the track right now, running. You know, my feet are hurting, my feet's hurting, everywhere is hurting, you know. But sometimes these are the things that we have to do to get from one place to the next, you know. This is, I wouldn't call it a hobby, but I am more focused on my academics right now. But I'm still putting that effort into track and field, because at the end of the day, if you're doing something, I believe you should go hard, you know. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm putting the effort. The priority is still with the academics, still with the business, working and all of that kind of stuff. But you know, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. You gotta give everything your 100%. I believe that if I give something 100%, I'm always tempted to give the other aspects of my life 100%. I'm not sure if this is something that everyone can relate to, but I feel, you know, a certain way. You know, if I am giving 50%, let's say, in my academics, I feel bad about it, and I end up giving 50% in everything else that I do during the day, you know. So I feel that basically a human being has an on and an off button. You want to keep it on. You know, you want to keep it on. Anything you do, you want to keep it on, keep it on, keep it on. You know, keep going. You know, if you have that high energy at all times, and I think it definitely translates into a variety of aspects in your life. You have to give that 100%, because 95%, 90%, 80%, it's not going to cut it in a competitive environment. So you definitely have to work harder than your opponents. You have to give it 100% of your effort. Give it 110%, even though I know that's technically not possible, or who knows. But give it your best effort, and when you feel like it's your best effort, go one step further. So that's basically what I'm doing today. I would say that today was a very productive day, and I want to keep having days like this. I know every day won't be like this, won't be, you know, but that's the plan. That's what I want. I want to be on all the time. I want to try to give my extreme effort every single day, and I think today was very good. I was working, I was focused, I was driven, and here there are times when I wanted to give up, but I decided not to, because if you give up, you're a loser, you know, according to Dan Penner. But you know, don't give up. You know, try to always stick to it. Always try to stick to the plan. Keep going. There may be certain instances in which it is actually time to, I wouldn't say give up, but take a break, you know, but only you in your heart knows when that time is, because a lot of times we tend to trick ourselves into thinking that, yeah, we can't go any further, and as a result we stop, you know, and it's not necessarily because we had to stop, it's because we were too weak, you know, and that makes us into a loser. You know, so we just have to be cognizant of that, and yes, we make mistakes, so don't necessarily berate yourselves too much, but once it becomes habitual, that's when you realize that you really need to, you know, take stock of what's going on and approach life in the way that you know you should. You know, you have a duty to yourself, to your body, to your family, to your friends, to your community, to this earth, this planet. You have a duty, you have an obligation, you have a responsibility, and you must fulfill that responsibility. So, you know, that's, you know, what I'm talking about. And for me personally, I think today was really good. Got to get some running in, some 20-minute runs, nothing too hard, but you know, as I said before, I'm very unfit, so 20 minutes felt like 40 minutes, well, not quite like 40 minutes. I know what 40 minutes feel like, and it's worse. But it, I guess I would call it 30 minutes, and that's for a sprinter. For a long distance athlete or middle distance athlete, that might not be an issue. But for me, definitely as a sprinter and a short sprinter, I don't even like the 400 meters. 30 minutes is, I hate it. But yeah, today this 20-minute run kind of felt like a 30-minute run. So, I feel like I was dying the last 5, 6, 7 meters, and like I couldn't go anymore. And I saw somebody running around the track, and I was like, wow, I'm tired and I don't want to look too bad. So, that's another thing. We, sometimes we're doing what we can, and we follow people. We look at what other people are doing, and we put ourselves down for that. We have to realize that we can't put ourselves down for that. We have to just focus on ourselves and keep going. What is the sense of focusing on other people, on what other people are doing, or how other people might look at you, and so forth. I mean, we weren't competing. The person was obviously doing something different than me, but there was this feeling of, oh, I have to be up there and stuff, just because, even though I was doing something completely different. Sometimes we place too much stock on other people and what other people are doing instead of what we need to be doing. So it's something that we also have to look at. And then apart from that, I did some good work today. We looked into the proposals that we want to bring forward to the leaders that be so that they can provide needed funding for the community. And I think that's something that's very important. A lot of people would rather to run towards a profit, and I mean, I would say that in some instances I'm running towards a profit as well, because I want to make money. You understand? I want to be successful. But at the same time, how can people look at certain communities and still have these predatory practices, or practices that are not I find them very unconscionable. You have one part of the west side that's looking really nice, and you have one side that's looking really badly. How can people in good conscience do these things? You have money, you're a millionaire or a billionaire, and you can push forward to try to help people that are in a lower position than you. Sometimes I just, and then it's not even them too. Sometimes it's the government or the system that kind of disincentivize people from wanting to invest in lower income neighborhoods and so forth. And we have a lot to do when it comes to trying to help the less privileged individuals who tend to be minorities. I feel that education is very important. People love to talk about racism, and I understand that that's an issue, but I feel that more than anything else, it's education. We need good education, and we need to encourage entrepreneurship, because if you encourage entrepreneurship, you work with young leaders in the African American community and Hispanic community, there can be great change. You understand? Because they'll be starting their own businesses. They'll be employing their own individuals. They'll be the employers rather than the employees, and they'll have more of a say. And the government would be in a better position to help them, as well as profitable or profit organizations and banks, and a lot of people would be in a much better position to help individuals who are employing other people. First of all, you'd be way more valuable to an economy, because you would be helping to stimulate that economy by providing jobs, providing housing, all of that kind of stuff. So I think in these kind of communities, what we should really be pushing for is education and relevant education and entrepreneurship. Now, when it comes to education, I don't mean necessarily like school education, that kind of stuff. I mean, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be an accountant, actuary, fine, specialized fields I understand, but certain education I don't really believe is necessary. I think we should focus on entrepreneurship and apprenticeship, internships. Try to get some real life experience rather than sitting in a class and just sometimes it's not worth it, and the cost of education is very high, and sometimes you won't see ROI. And that's the thing too, that saddles your entrepreneurship potential, because you go into school, you build up a high level of debt. How are you going to start a business? You're going to have to pay off those loans before you can even think about starting a business. So it's just very, the system is not really trying to incentivize entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs, especially in areas that people are struggling with money, being less disadvantaged areas, And then, forgetting that, the third thing, I did today was doing some studies, and, reading up and so forth. And I think that was pretty successful too. Didn't spend as much time as I did on the other, items on the agenda. But I did what I could, and I'm really, happy about how it went today. And yeah, that's about it. So check it.